Hi friends, welcome to lecture 81 in our helicopter dynamics course. And today we'll continue with ground resonance. Specifically, I'm going to talk about the blade lag equations in the fixed system. I'm Dr. Ranjan Ganguly. Now, if we look at the lag motion, then we can realize that zeta is the lag motion, and we put a superscript here m, so this refers to the lag motion for the mth blade in the rotating frame. So let's say if there are 4 blades, there is going to be zeta superscript 1, zeta superscript 2, zeta superscript 3, and zeta superscript 4. These are going to be the 4 degrees of freedom for the lag motion of the rotor blade in the rotating frame. Now, if we are going to convert this to the fixed frame, the degrees of freedom are going to be zeta 0, zeta nc, zeta ns, and zeta n by 2 for a 4-bladed rotor. So remember from our previous lecture on Fourier coordinate transformation that the FCT is a linear transformation of n degrees of freedom in the rotating system to n degrees of motion in the fixed system. So the blade lag motion in the fixed system is going to correspond to zeta 0, zeta nc, zeta ns, and zeta n by 2, and these are related to the rotating system degrees of freedom zeta superscript m by these 4 equations. So the first one is the collective, the last one is the differential collective, and the remaining 2 are the cyclics. So clearly you can see in 2 cases you multiply by cos n psi m and sin n psi m, and in one case you multiply by negative 1 to the power m to get these equations in the fixed system. Now the relationship between zeta n and the remaining degrees of freedom in the fixed system can be given as follows. So this is zeta m here. So if we have the degrees of freedom in the fixed system, we can go back using the inverse transformation and we can get zeta m. And here this summation or this value of small m is given as follows. Small n is 1 to capital N minus 1 by 2 for n odd. So for example, if we had 3-bladed rotor, that would be 3 minus 1 by 2, that would be 1. If we had 4-bladed rotor, that would be 4 minus 2 by 2, that would be 1. Okay, so these are the simple cases, and we will look at the 4-bladed rotor today. Now psi m is psi plus m minus 1 delta psi, and delta psi is 2 pi by n, 2 pi being the radius or rather the circumference of the rotor disc, and that is divided by n, the number of blades, and psi is of course equal to omega into t, where omega is the rotation speed of the rotor. So these essentially define the nomenclature as far as the Fourier coordinate transformation is concerned from the rotating system to the fixed system. So to add specificity to our problem, let us look at the case of 4 blades. So n is equal to 4. So in the rotating frame we have zeta 1, zeta 2, zeta 3, zeta 4. In the fixed frame we have zeta 0, zeta 1c, zeta 1s, zeta 2. And I can do this because I now know that small n is equal to 1 because n is equal to 4. So I only have these 4 degrees of freedom. So 4 degrees of freedom in rotating frame, 4 degrees of freedom in fixed frame. Now zeta 0 is the collective lag motion. Let us look at each of these motions physically. So take a look at this rotor here. Now in a normal situation, the rotor is shown by these solid lines, and again the collective lag situation is given like this. So each of the 4 blade has gone through a lag which is given by zeta, and so each of them are displaced by the same quantity zeta. So essentially what happens with this is that the CG of the rotor stays at the center in this case. So there is no movement in the CG. So the CG of the complete rotor was in the center, which I put here, and then the CG of the rotor, which is given by the dotted lines after the lag motion, is also at the same location here. Now if we look at zeta 1c, in the case of zeta 1c, there is a lateral shift in the rotor CG in the negative y direction. So essentially two blades are here, remaining two blades don't change, and therefore the rotor CG has gone through a lateral shift. So this is important. Now if we look at the zeta 1s term, this represents a longitudinal shift of rotor CG. So this CG shift is happening here. So two of the blades there is no change, and two of the blades there is change. So again, zeta 1s represents a longitudinal shift of the rotor CG in the positive x direction. Now what about zeta 2? Zeta 2 represents a case where there is a scissoring motion of the rotor blade. So essentially one of them is going like this, one of them is going like this, and so on. So essentially the result is that the four blades finally take the positions given by the dotted lines here. And the result of this scissoring motion is that the CG still stays at the center. So as far as the CG is concerned, both for the collective and for the differential collective zeta 2, the CG does not move, but for the cases involving zeta 1c and zeta 1s, the CG does move. Now we are going to use this physical fact later when we couple the motions with the hub, but right now let us look at it in a very detached manner. So let's look at the lag equation in the rotating frame. So the uncoupled lag equation for the blade in rigid lag is given by this equation here. Now you will recall the equation I zeta double star plus nu zeta square zeta we derived in terms of rigid lag motion, and also we add a damping term here. So this is essentially the fact that the lag motion may have damping not only coming from structural damping but also from some lag damper placed in this case, because as I mentioned before, rotor blades typically have a lag damper because the lag mode is low damped. And now this is going to equal to some forcing in the right hand side, and we had derived this equation in our video on lag mode rigid motion. Now remember that in ground resonance the aerodynamic term can be neglected because ground resonance is a purely mechanical instability which takes place on the ground, and therefore once I know this fact from physics, I do not need to carry this excess baggage with me, and so we set this to 0. So that becomes our equation, and so it simplifies considerably. So now we transform this equation into the fixed frame, and just like before we did for the flap equation case, we get four equations here. Two of these equations look very familiar because they are for the collective and the differential collective, and they essentially have the same form as the previous equation in the rotating frame, except zeta is now replaced by zeta 0, zeta is replaced by zeta 2. But the equations corresponding to zeta 1c and zeta 1s, they are two equations here. There is a coupling in these equations which is actually caused by the presence of some of the Coriolis forces and centrifugal forces and so on. And also we can see that these equations involve various terms and have become different from the previous equations. So there is a change in these equations. There are the presence of the star terms here which are causing coupling, and also some more terms are here which are causing coupling. So anyway, these are the four equations for the four-bladed rotor in the fixed system corresponding to lag. So these equations are the longitudinal and lateral equations of the rotor. That is the last two equations I showed in the previous video. And why these equations become important? Because these are the equations which are causing the motion of the CG. And we are going to see in a next video that these motions are going to couple with the hub motions. And therefore these motions are key to ground resonance. And now you also see a physical reason as to why we need the Fourier coordinate transformation, because essentially we needed to convert these rotating system equations into the fixed system, and after we converted these equations to the fixed system, we clearly know which are the equations which are of importance to us and which are going to couple with the hub motion. This is where some physical reasoning is important. And then in the next video I'm going to develop the equations for the body and then look at the coupled body lag equation. So we are going to develop a 4 degree of freedom system where we are going to consider zeta 1s, zeta 1c, and xh and YH as the two hub motions. See you then